Robin. Good to see you. How you doing? Happy Thursday. You're fine, nice. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Today was a pretty good day. Work wasn't too stressful or anything. I even got home a little earlier than normal, so that was good. Oh, I took a nap. Because having to get up at 5:30 really is killing me again, but cutting me a break for the first time in forever. But it was good, yeah. Ever so slightly. I mean, you gotta take what you can get, right? Yeah, exactly. Alright, so we are gonna continue on the visual novel today, The Midnight Witch. We were playing that on Tuesday. I don't know how long this is still gonna take. Because they said that this was gonna be a short thing, but we went on for like almost 6 hours, I believe, and I don't really consider that short. So we're gonna continue that. That could take half an hour, could longer, could take less, I don't know. So I've got a demo lined up for afterwards from Aloft. I have it wishlisted, but I'm not entirely sure about it yet. So I want to play the demo and see. A game demo, yes. So yeah, I want to play that to see, like, maybe the demo will, like, make up my mind. But yeah, that all just really depends on how long this is still gonna take. Because, like I said, I have no clue. So, it could be a whole lot of variety today. But, I'm actually prepared. Like, this time, I'm actually prepared. That doesn't really happen that often. But I thought ahead. Because, if this could take like 30 minutes, and a demo usually also doesn't really take that long, I needed something for afterwards still, so I have 3 things. But it really just depends on how long the first one is gonna take to see if we're gonna get to the third item or not. But that's for later. At least I don't have to worry about not knowing what to do. So let's get started. Let's get comfy. Fair game to me, exactly. Look at me being a pro streamer and whatnot. We're gonna get comfy, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna relax, and we're gonna listen and watch to a, well, very murderous story. Would you say generally you're a good preparer or more often badly prepared? No, I'm generally a very good preparer, yeah. Like, because, like, a great preparation is like half the work. As they say. So evidence today, exactly. So yeah, great. I'm ready. I'm ready to get my reading on. Ready to destroy my voice. Okay. It's going back in time. Did I forget to save? I thought I saved. Are we doing this again? My neurons are slowly kicking in, like a rusty machine getting greased by motor oil. A moment ago, everything was frozen? Evelyn. I look around frantically. I'm standing right in front of the entrance of the mill building of the university. My back warmed by the morning sun. Yo, Iboya, what's up? Behind me. Dan looks at me sarcastically. Dan is alive. Dan! I think I forgot to save last time. In my rush, because I had to eat and get ready for Ross's stream. No, see? Are you sure you want to overwrite this save? No. I want to go back. I want to open that. Why am I not doing that? Main menu. Are you sure you want to return to the main menu? This will lose unsaved progress. Yes, because I haven't really been doing anything anyway. Why are you waiting? Can I not do that? Because I have the save. Okay, let's try this again. Hang on. Menu. Load. This part. Loading will lose unsaved progress. Yes, it doesn't matter. See? Okay, there you go. I was sure that I saved. Because what we did was quite a long run still. It's good that I didn't have to read all of that again. Alright. With her hand outstretched in front of her, Evelyn conjures up one of her famous spears that has just pinned a hapless student to the ground, whose grunts of agony are rapidly weakening. I sat back to your seat. I take advantage of the very momentary silence and start yelling. Back to your seat, everyone, quick! I rush over to Jessica, still kneeling beside Dan, and grab her by the arm. Jessica, move! We'll die if we stay here. Jessica looks at me, totally distraught, tears in her eyes. But what the... Move! Jessica relents and I manage to drag her back to her original spot next to the seat Dan was sitting in. No matter what happens, don't move from your seat. Well, I'm afraid I have to start punishing. I jump over to the table and settle as best as I can in my seat. You. Could you please tell me why you're not sitting down? Evelyn targets the only student still standing with her piercing eyes. Everyone else has managed to sit back down. Or at least hide under a table. A magical dagger out of nowhere pierces his throat with a sinister sound. The condemned student hopelessly brings his hands to his blood-drenched throat, then collapses to the floor with absolutely sickening gurgles. I don't want to see anyone under the tables either. Class is about to resume. I lean over to the twins who look perfectly terrified. Sit down at your table or she'll kill you. Hurry up. They reluctantly straighten up and manage to sit down despite their compulsive shaking. Around me, I note with relief that everyone is following their lead. Alright, It's so much nicer to teach serious students. And don't forget to take notes. The best students will be rewarded. Evelyn's cruel smile leaves no doubt about what's coming next. There's going to be more blood. We are definitely and irrevocably doomed. I see that everyone is listening now. Who said today's youth don't know how to behave? A heavy silence reigns over the room. All the students are immersed in terrifying apprehension, their brains unable to make the connection between the series of totally inconceivable events that have just occurred. Spiked milkshake. Exactly like the first time. Surprise, denial, anguish. The triptych of terror. Undoubtedly, I'm the only one who remembers past events. For the rest of the class, this is Evelyn's very first appearance. I bury my head in my arms and close my eyes. Please make it stop. Please give me Emma back. Give me back my life. My simple, boring life. My little everyday life as an average student. Save me. Save us. Please, 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 please. Evelyn speaks again in a playful tone that makes me flinch. Before we resume class, Evelyn sits down on the desk as if nothing had happened. As if the loop over her very first appearance had never stopped. Even though the students have no memory of that first loop. Except me. As if she were teaching for me. I need to ask you some questions to assess your current level. She probes the room with her eyes, stopping here and there at a few students who are nearly passing out. You, in the back. You already tried to help me, so I'm going to ask you a very easy question. I turn to follow the trajectory of Evelyn's gaze. She's addressing Wes. How could you not have figured it out, since she said you've already tried to help me, before, so that was easy. He has no memory of the first loop, only I know that Evelyn is referring to. His betrayal. His filthy betrayal. And Evelyn wants to reward him. By killing him? It doesn't make sense. Evelyn systematically kills the person she asks a question to. How is she granting him a privilege by interrogating him? Clearly, Wes is not one of those who are supposed to survive. The famous model students. If they even exist. If you had to kill someone in this room, who would you pick? What? This has nothing to do with the class. What the hell is this? This is nothing like the first loop. I want to live. Evelyn wiggles her delicate finger in front of her. No, you're not answering the question. There's no point in trying to act smart. She wants blood. She will have blood. What if Wes decided to pick her? Would she submit to her own rules? No way. She probably killed the insane by accusing him of cheating. What a filthy trash. Fuck you, Wes. Fuck you. The word echoes around the room for a few moments. Did he just point at me? Me? I abruptly turn to Wes. You trash, what are you doing? I had to choose. It was either you or me. Wes needs mommy Aibo to save his day. No, I wanted to kill him before, so I probably, if I have the option, try to kill him again. Traitor in the first loop, coward in the second. Either way, he wanted me dead. That filthy trash. Evelyn claps her hands happily. Iboya, I see you didn't befriend everyone. She holds out a long, slender finger in our direction, and 2 long daggers come out of nowhere suddenly hit the table between us. Now, let's get this started. My stunned gaze alternates between Evelyn and Wes. Evelyn doesn't want to kill us herself anymore. She wants us to do it for her. Sadism taken to the extreme. Evelyn, fuck you. I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye and Wes scrambling for the daggers, but he only manages to pull one off the table. You piece of shit. I roar as I try to land a blow to his head and that he manages to dodge. Off balance, I topple forward and nearly cut my right side with the edge of the blade still stuck in the table. Wes gazes at me with an evil look. Convinced of his easy victory, he raises his weapon high. Sorry, nothing personal. In a surprising survival reflex buried somewhere deep inside me, I manage to roll off the table just in time to dodge the blade, which comes down hard and hits the wooden desk with a thud. That bastard. He's really trying to kill me. I grab the handle of the dagger aimed at me and swing back with all my weight to dodge another deadly blow from Wes. I managed to pull the dagger off the table, but by doing so, throwing myself off my already precarious balance. I clumsily try to restore my center of gravity by staggering backwards, but I end up stumbling on one of the steps. The world slips away from me as my body rolls down the steps to the central stage. When the world finally comes to a stop around me, I suppress a stabbing nausea and try to catch my breath. It's a small miracle that I didn't break my neck in that fall. I come to my senses in time to notice Wes running down the stairs, his dagger in his hand. A demented look has taken over his face. I awkwardly straighten up and haphazardly raise my right hand, which is still miraculously holding the dagger, to ward off Wes's coming blow. I was sure I had dropped it when I fell. Wes's blades ricochets off mine and skids across my forearm, leaving a long red gash. I drop one knee to the ground under the force of the impact. I won. I try to compress the pain without screaming, but it feels like my right arm has no strength left. Shit. With a rush of adrenaline, I throw my dagger towards Wes's face. To my surprise, the trajectory is perfect. The blade goes with the surgical precision towards Wes's right eye. Instant death incoming. Shut up! I punctuate my renewed confidence with a bravado remark that I immediately regret. In a surprisingly agile move, Wes twists on himself and manages to avoid the deathly projectile. Panic overtakes me. I am completely unarmed and as a result, helpless. What an idiot. You're pathetic, Iboya. It's so weird having to say that. Wes stands before me, a demented grin on his face. I turn my head towards Evelyn in the vain and naive hope of finding some comfort. Her almond-shaped eyes ignore me completely and remain focused on Wes. With an enigmatic smile on her lips, she seems very amused by the situation. Is it? Well, I mean, I call myself pathetic quite a lot. But now I'm reading it from like somebody else's perspective, which is weird, slightly hurtful. Funny witnessing though. Of course it is. Thank you for making me ring. Everyone has always made fun of me. You first. Nobody cares about Wes. Wes, Dan's faithful minion. The one who crawls beside him in hopes of being exposed to the light for a moment. Look at him. He's pathetic. My brain is trying to think fast. I have to try to buy some time, get him to talk, since he seems very eager to get this off his chest. It must hurt so much to lose to someone like me, huh? If I can make him keep talking, maybe he'll let his guard down enough. You're the one looking up at me now, and I'm looking down at you. You have no idea what this means to me. My right arm is weakened by my injury, but all I would have to do is run into him with all my weight and should knock him to the ground. You're the trash now. Me? Me. I'm in the winning side. The main risk is that he doesn't drop his dagger in his fall. If he manages to stab me while I'm running at him, it's game over for me. I'm the winner, and you're the loser, but we're both stuck in hell. Either way, I'm screwed, just like you. Wes throws an unexpected kick at me. I raise my left arm at the last moment to keep my jaw from absorbing the damage. I crash into the desk with a thud and let out a grunt of pain. Shit, I fell on my right arm. A long gash that stretches across my forearm triggers a wave of searing pain throughout my right side. Where's the justice in that, huh? You're going to die, and I'm going to die too, right? We're all doomed, right? That witch is going to kill us all, right? So what the fuck do I care about winning against a piece of shit like you? I'm gonna die too. Another kick, this time in my stomach. I don't give a shit, you understand? I don't give a shit about winning if I'm going to die. Justice? Revenge? I don't give a fuck. I just want to survive. I curl up my body in anticipation for another blow. I just want to survive. But we're in hell here, and no one comes back from hell. Wes throws a series of random kicks at me, more to vent his anger than to actually hurt me. I win, you lose. You die, I die. What's the difference? Tell me. My arms manage to absorb most of his blows, but the pain that runs through my body prevents me from considering any counterattack. Answer me! What difference does it make to me? The kicks finally stop. Breathing hard, I try to focus on my aching body. My right arm continues to hurt, but the wound doesn't bleed enough to be a real danger. As for the rest of my body, nothing seems to be broken. Really sore, but nothing broken. Right, Evelyn? What difference does it make after all? I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye of Evelyn, whose attention remains entirely on Wes. Her smile slowly widens, but she keeps complete silence. We're in hell after all, right? There's no way to escape from here. Evelyn gently runs her tongue over her lips, as if to better savor this surreal moment. And yet, I have the dagger. I hold the power now. Wes stares at the dagger for a moment, then sets his crazy eyes on me. You think you have a chance of surviving, right? He then turns to Evelyn. You think I'm going to be your little puppet, right? That'll slaughter a boya, and then you can kill me? Evelyn lets out a little crystalline laugh, as if the remark were a pleasant joke at a cocktail party. You know, Iboya, people say there's nowhere to run in hell, but I know. Wes crouches down next to me, his dagger screwed into his right hand. I know how to do it. I know how to get out of it. Wes plunges the dagger into his abdomen. The stunned shock takes my breath away as a few drops of blood splash on my face. I know. I know. Wes continues to stab himself over and over again. I know. You fucking psycho. A final stab gets the better of him. Wes collapses next to me. The blade still stuck in his gaping abdomen, which spills an impressive amount of blood on the floor. Evelyn bursts into laughter and claps with both hands. Wonderful! Bravo! What a finale! I painfully straighten up, holding my right arm. I'm alive. Wes killed himself. He had everything to kill me. I was doomed. But he's dead, and I'm alive. I didn't expect anything from someone like Wes, but he really exceeded my wildest expectations. Evelyn walks up to me and whispers a few words in my ear. Congratulations, Iboya. You're the winner. You can go back to your seat now. As if moved by an invisible force, my body begins to walk up the stairs with a slow, uneven step. Thoughts race through my jumbled minds, but one keeps popping up insistently. I'm alive. I'm still alive. Thanks to Wes? Wes the traitor. Wes the coward. To the end, he still ran away, even if it meant sparing me. As I finally sit down in my seat, I have a violent coughing fit. A taste of blood appears in my mouth. Wes saved me. His cowardice saved me. I am alive. For now. Iboya? I wipe away a small trickle of blood that runs down my lips and look up feverishly at the perfectly smiling Evelyn, as if the class had never stopped. As if the situation was the most natural thing in the world. Since you won, the next question is for you. My eyes beat with tears. She feeds on our distress, on our despair. She maintains the peaks of hope that animate us punctually to better break them eventually. Don't worry, it's a very easy question. Easy. Like what she asked Wes? I believe you're a good friend of the two twins in front of you. They look very similar, but I'm sure they are very different from each other. Zoe and Chloe suddenly turn to me, their faces livid. Indeed, they look so much alike. So, which one do you like better? I let out a nervous laugh. So that's her little game. Now, she asks us to designate condemn ourselves according to criteria established by her alone. The conclusion is the same. She kills the bad students by forcing other bad students to get their hands dirty. That probably means I'm a bad student. Then I'm doomed. You do have a little preference, right? Look how cute they are, looking at you with their big, desperate eyes. Isn't it exhilarating, wielding such power? Yeah, please, save Chloe, pick her. Zoe. To tell the truth, they are perfectly identical. Eyes filled with tears, distress in their eyes. Arched eyebrows, trembling lips. Emma's best friends. Twin sister who do absolutely everything together. To me, they are almost one and the same. Shit. Shit. Evelyn. No doubt she will kill me if I refuse to answer. A life for a life. Me? Or one of them? Evelyn can fuck herself. I can't take it anymore. I can't stand being a puppet in Evelyn's morbid game anymore. Maybe Wes was right. Maybe a chosen death is better. After all. I suppress a disillusionized smile. If someone had told me that I would one day agree with that filthy traitor Wes, if I'm going to die, I might as well go all in. Fuck you, Evelyn. I slam both my fists on the table with all my might. A new wave of pain invades my right arm. I refuse to be part of your sadistic little game. Fuck you. Evelyn adopts a subtle, rumpled look and walks up the stairs in my direction. Well, there's no need to be vulgar. As she approaches me, a finger pointing in my direction, I feel an increasingly unbearable tension gradually descend upon my shoulders. Arriving at my level, Evelyn contemplates me with a knowing smile. The supernatural tension that afflicts me is such that my chest ends up falling against the table. What the... Is it the pain that makes you so acerbic? She presses her index finger to my open wound. A searing wave of pain suddenly spreads throughout my body. The pain disappears as suddenly as it appeared. In front of me, Evelyn is licking her index finger covered in my blood. Okay. You have very sweet blood. Thanks, I guess. Out of breath, I barely manage to sit upright in my seat. The disparity in force is indisputable, and any direct resistance against Evelyn is futile. Nevertheless, I'm still alive. Against all expectations, she spared me. Why did she spare me? Why me? Does she have special plans for me? Is that why I'm the only one who has retained my memories? Or are we all just trapped in parallel dimensions? Is she torturing us all individually without us even being aware of each other's ordeal? Why is she doing all this? Why? Whereas I am about to open my mouth to spill out my hatred, Evelyn gives me a wink and brings a finger to her mouth to incite me to silence. A searing pain, even more excruciating, invades every cell in my body. The pain is so great that I am unable to scream. Only a drawn-out moan escapes my lips. The sensation of torture miraculously ebbs after a few seconds and leaves me slumped on the table again, panting. Clearly, she doesn't want to be interrupted. Chloe. Chloe looks like she's about to faint, her wide eyes focused on Evelyn. Why do you think Ibaya likes, who do you think Ibaya likes better? Your sister? Or you? As Chloe's face looks like it's about to burst into tears, her features suddenly morph into a cruel caricature. Me! It's me who likes me best! Zoe stares at her sister with a completely stunned look. Chloe? Shut up! Kill her! I'm the one Ibaya likes best. Zoe looks devastated, betrayed by her own twin sister. I try to open my mouth to protest, but the searing pain immediately reappears. Evelyn looks at me with a sneer, as if to mock my helplessness. Kill Miss Perfect. She spends her time taking everyone down to make herself feel superior. She's been doing it with me her whole life. That's why everybody likes me best. Kill her. Zoe bursts into tears. Chloe, do you really mean what you said? Shut up, you deserve everything that happens to you. Your abortion was all your fault. Zoe gasps in surprise. It was you? The rumor? A mirthless laugh escapes Chloe's lips. You spend your time feeling sorry for yourself every time you do something stupid, while you're always the one who responsible for your own misfortune. This time, you finally have something real to complain about. Evelyn's cruel smile widened. Well, if you say everybody likes you best, in that case... Evelyn waves her right hand nonchalantly, and Zoe suddenly collapses to the ground, struck full force by a new dagger out of nowhere. The violence of the impact throws a few sprays of blood all around her lifeless body. She probably died on the spot. Chloe bursts into a demented laugh. I stare at Chloe's manic face in disgust. never have imagined. They seemed so close. How could Chloe do this to her own twin sister? I can barely see Zoe's dead body, but I don't dare lean forward to see her face. She died immediately after realizing her sister's betrayal. The last thing she felt, the deception, the pain, the betrayal. Her last thoughts were tainted by her sister, her own sister who confessed everything to her when she was sentenced to death. The worst betrayal. The worst death. I clench my fists and feel the tears running down my cheeks, soiled by sweat, dust, and blood. Again, I curse my own weakness, my inability to do anything. Our inability to do anything. Chloe, how could you do this? Chloe turns to me, her features still contorted with unhealthy joy. It was her or me, and she deserved it. Don't you dare lecturing me. You did the exact same thing with Wes. I don't remember you sacrificing yourself so he could survive. Actually, it's the opposite. You owe a debt to a dead man. Wes was not my brother. Shut up, Iboya. You don't know what it's like growing up in the shadow of your twin, to be nothing but a pill copy, a permanent disappointment to all the people who prefer your sister. Chloe's face becomes harsher, wilder. You don't know what it's like to have the people you love systematically call you by your sister's name as if you didn't exist. Like they'd rather be your sister than you. Chloe seems out of breath. The resentment built up over the years shows on her still incredibly pale face. So what? We all have our problems. And Zoe had hers. Shut up, you try to act all high and mighty when you know nothing about what I've been through. If you were so perfect, so pure, you would have sacrificed yourself to save Emma. I barely suppress a gagging fit. She dares to mention Emma? That has nothing to do with it. I don't... Then how come I'm talking to you and not Emma, or Wes, or Dan? How do you explain that? You filthy hypocrite. I remain flabbergasted by Chloe's words. This is just completely unrelated. Even though I did fail to protect them, I was the only one who remembered, and yet I failed to change anything. I was satisfied with an illusory happiness, naive. I let my guard down and did nothing to save them. They were doomed the moment I let them set into this room again. We all have our problems, as you say. So deal with yours and keep your bullshit morale principles to yourself. The short silence is quickly broken by Evelyn's lilting voice. Well, Boya, looks like I don't need your answer anymore. You obviously preferred Zoe. What? What? Chloe looks at Evelyn with a startled expression. No, I won. She's the one who died. A long dagger pierces Chloe. Identical to the one that killed Zoe, in the same spot, the same way, with the same sound. Chloe collapses to the ground in perfect symmetry to her sister. The two identical handles of the magic dagger stand proudly, deeply planted in the flesh of their victims. Like a morbid reminder of Evelyn's omnipotence. An atrocious sense of nausea spreads in my entrails. Why? Zoe. Evelyn, you had it all planned. Why did you kill Zoe when it was Chloe who was targeted? I tried to squeeze the blood that roars in my temples. It is Chloe who deserved. Did she deserve to die? Is it as simple as that? Evelyn's voice echoes in my skull, but her lips remain still. How does it feel to watch the people you know die around you, totally helpless? An insidious feeling of unease washes over me. This voice in my head is as if it's penetrating directly into every single neuron I possess. Evelyn. Evelyn gazes down at the two corpses with a satisfied look on her face as she gently strokes her collar, oblivious to my husky voice. Without a word, she walks back down the stairs towards the painting with a cheerful expression. Well, I believe we can resume class now. I count on you to listen carefully and take notes. There will be more questions later. The atmosphere of a paralysis that had gripped the room gradually dissipates. A few horrified cries that echo in the room are quickly muffled to fear of retaliation, and the unmistakable sound of computer keyboards resumes its ballet as Evelyn begins to write on the board. I think it's time for another fundamental sociology topic. Revenge. Evelyn begins to recite her lecture without the slightest hesitation, just like in the previous loop. As if the previous loop had never been interrupted. The students are all deadly pale and try to ignore the dead bodies around them as they focus on their note-taking. My temples still aching, I turn my head to Emma's lifeless body and begin to cry softly. All the death, all the horror, it's not over. It's still not over. I remember a while ago. And boy, are you listening to me? Emma shakes my arm with a sigh. I guess you didn't take this trip together too seriously. The yearly school trip? Since the whole class will be there, it's not exactly what I call very romantic. The whole class will be there, you know? Emma gives an exasperated pout. Could you just show a little bit more of romance? Emma rolls her eyes. I was talking about the two of us spending time together, gazing at the starry sky, walking in the moonlight, listening to the sound of the cicadas? No. Oh. I shake my head slightly. It's true that we haven't done anything very romantic for a while. Her piercing eyes are watching my every reaction. Not a good time to make a joke. Moonlight. Yeah. At least you can sound more sincere when you tell me you love me. I grab Emma by the shoulders and pull her closer to me. Stop it. You know I love to tease you. Actually, I saw on the internet there's some hot spring right next to the hotel, with a view down into the valley. Emma stares at me with stars in her eyes. Hot spring? But it must be fully booked already. Don't worry, you've already booked something. My lie works flawlessly and Emma rushes over to hug me tenderly. I hope I can still find a room online. Thank you. You know I love it when you plan something romantic. Good thing Dan told me about that hot spring thing this morning. He wants to learn the twins there, but considering how much they despite him, he'll probably spend this night alone. And you know, the temple we're going to? The university pretends we're visiting some super fancy temple, but everybody knows it's just some old ruins on top of a random mountain. Our end of year trip is just another collateral damage of the usual budget cuts, while our university fees increase every year. What a scam. It was erected as a tribute to a goddess who fell in love with a mortal. Generic romantic legend number 47 coming right at you. Let me guess. They immediately fell in love, but after some random tragic story, the dude died and the goddess turned into a mountain because of her grief. Or something like that. Emma stifles a small, quiet laugh. Almost. The mortal got really sick, so he asked for the goddess to turn him into a mountain so they could live together forever. Into a mountain? Sounds like an odd request, no? That's because mountains connect Earth to heaven. Not exactly. It has become the bridge that connects their two worlds, a symbol of Aloft that transcends through time and space. Except that it's hardly a mountain, more like a big hill or something. The legend would have made more sense if it had been Mount Everest. Emma smiles broadly. Your romance level is below 0. Good thing I'm romantic enough for the two of us. I hug her a little tighter. But now I know how to be a little romantic. Thanks to you. Emma tiptoes up and comes close to my ear. You know, legend has it that proposals made on top of this mountain are always successful. I stifle a hiccup of surprise. What? Proposal? She expects... What? Just kidding. Emma, you know I love you, right? Emma snuggles up to me a little more. Marriage. Probably a little early to be thinking about it. We still have a few more steps to take together before we get there. Like, for example, moving in together? I can't help but smile. She already spends half her nights at my place, and my closet probably has more of her stuff than mine. Emma, do you want to... I mean, I would love it if... I swallow loudly. Would you like to move in with me? Her face immediately lights up. Really? Well, yeah, I mean, that way we can split the... Emma presses her lips against mine before I can finish my highly unromantic remark. I smile and kiss her back. She has obviously been waiting for me to suggest we start living together. She moves away slightly and plants her big eyes in mine. I didn't want to mention it so that you wouldn't feel pressured. She tries to keep a relatively detached tone, but her voice is higher than usual. I gently shake my head and pull her closer to me. I'm sorry, Emma. We should have talked about this sooner. No. The important thing is that you feel ready now. Ready for what? To spend more time with the girl I love? An easy choice. I close my eyes and think back to all the people who refuse any committed relationship. Dan's face naturally appears. Out of 1,000 people who would repeat the same arguments over and over again. Maybe you'll find someone better later on. You're too young to settle down, get a job first. Maybe they're right. Maybe not. But right now, with Emma in my arms, this eternal dilemma becomes abysmally simple. Am I happy with her? Does she make me happy? Obviously. I tighten my arms around Emma. I love you too. Marriage, she said? After we graduate? Hey, boya? I hear a barely audible mumble. I open my tear-reddened eyes and see that Evelyn is still writing on the board, busy reciting her lecture in a very animated voice. Boya, stop crying, we need to talk. I slowly turn towards the whispering that is becoming more insistent right behind me. Get a hold of yourself. Jessica stares at me with her big amber eyes, her face hard. Leave me alone. Jessica sighs slightly and her features soften. Look, you don't have to feel guilty. Your question was a false pretext. Your answer would have changed absolutely nothing. I reply in a hoarse breath. That's not true. I'm sure I could have... should have... Stop beating yourself up. You couldn't have changed anything. That witch? She did exactly what she intended to do. She just wanted to kill. She wanted to give you the illusion of a choice to better traumatize you. But the conclusion was written all along. I stare at Jessica blankly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter after all. Students die one by one. That's the only reality that matters. And we are next on the list. Like animals at the slaughterhouse, we wait patiently for our turn, immersed in an impeccable collective anguish. Jessica shakes my shoulder. If I have focus, we need to find a way out of here. It feels like we had this same discussion forever ago, during the first loop. You seem to know more than anyone. You already knew who Evelyn was this morning, as if you knew she was a witch. A few tears blur my vision slightly. I knew her, and yet I couldn't do anything to protect Emma, or Dan, or anyone. Now everyone is trapped again. Jessica stares at me inquisitively. You already knew. You knew her? I look at Jessica with a totally helpless look. Helpless. I couldn't do anything. Jessica's gaze softens as she places her hand on my shoulder. Ibaya, please. You have to tell me everything you know. It may be the key to getting out of here alive. With my throat in knots, I take Jessica's hand and squeeze it with all my might. I don't even know where to begin. Thank you for making me drink, Robin. But I need to share my burden with someone. It only took me a few minutes to tell Jessica the first loop. The repetition, the distorted signals, the return of Evelyn, the return of the horror. Jessica listened patiently without interruption, only raising a surprised eyebrow here and there. I thought I would have a hard time relating the events without bursting into tears, but after I started the story, the words just came pouring out. Naturally, as if I had been waiting forever to finally get it off my chest. I'm not gonna lie, your story sounds completely insane, but it's not like we're in a very normal situation. Maybe Wes is right. Maybe we're just in hell and this is our punishment. Yeah, let's put aside the purgatory delusions for now. The only certainty is that we're trapped with a witch who's capable of killing anyone, anytime. From what you've told me, we already managed to kill her once by taking her by surprise. Jessica shakes her head. You have no idea how disturbing it is to have no memory of the actions you yourself are supposed to have performed. I smile weakly. Yeah, you're really unlucky not to remember the slaughter of half of the class. Jessica sighs. Sorry, that's not what I meant. Her eyes swivel to Evelyn, still busy writing on the board. In any case, I find your theory quite coherent. She targets the bad students. The only problem is that we don't know if there really are any good students. In other words, we don't know if there will actually be any survivors left in the end, and I don't intend to wait to find out. I look at her with a stunned face. How can you say that? Emma is dead, and Dan, and even Zoe. Jessica puts her hands in front of her in a placating gesture. Wait, try to look at it from the witch's point of view. According to her completely twisted morals, Emma cheated on you, so she was punished. Dan tried to kill her, so he disrupted the class, as did those who tried to run away or refused to return to their seats. As for Zoe, I think Evelyn has targeted both twins. Zoe because she spent her time taking her sister down. That's what Chloe said to save her skin. She's the one who betrayed her sister. I know. I'm not saying she deserved to die. Again, try to think like the witch. She wanted to kill Chloe too because she's the one who started the rumor. What rumor? Jessica plunges her cat-like eyes into mine. Doesn't surprise me that Emma never told you about it, considering how close she was with Zoe. See, Matt's dead body over there? I refuse to turn my head to gaze at another corpse, but not nonetheless. Matt, one of the victims in the first loop. The one who had been accused of having You told me that after he died, everyone was talking about a rumor about him, that he had pressured one of his one-night stands into having an abortion? I was wondering that. Chloe mentioned the abortion, and I was wondering if they were talking about the same abortion that we figured out, you know, in the previous stream. That girl was Zoe. Apparently, he completely freaked out when he found out she was pregnant, and he put incredible pressure on her to abort the baby. Thank you for making me drink, Robin. She was actually planning to keep the child, but apparently he threatened to ruin her life if she did that. He probably would have refused to acknowledge his paternity and therefore his duties to the kid. I look at Jessica with a look of both awe and puzzlement. Jessica, how do you know all this? I'm trying to piece together bits and pieces of information. It's all rumors, nothing is certain. But given how oddly specific Evelyn's question to Matt was, there's probably some truth to it. What is certain is that Zoe ended up having an abortion. Given Chloe's reaction before she died, she knew about it. And I can't imagine Emma not being aware as well. Zoe had an abortion. Well, I'm not sure Emma would have told me spontaneously. Maybe one day, but Zoe absolutely wanted to keep it a secret, which is easy to understand. Ditto for Matt, who was known for his one-night stands. But the information leaked, and the rumor spread widely. No one knew for sure who the girl was, but Zoe was among the potential candidates. I was well aware that Zoe had slept with Matt at a party. Everybody knew. It was widely rumored. A bright girl like Zoe with a flirt like Matt, everyone talked about it. But she even got pregnant. Zoe tried to find the person responsible for the rumor, someone who wanted to harm her. As you can guess, I was one of the first suspects. But it didn't last long. Zoe found another scapegoat more satisfactory than me. Or at least, easier to bully. Indeed. I don't see who would dare to oppose Jessica head on. But actually, it was Chloe who was behind it. She just wanted to smear her sister. Out of revenge. Out of cowardice. Never mind the reasons, Evelyn doesn't seem to care about such details. I end up nodding slowly. Evelyn only cares about seeing us die. Still, it doesn't make any sense. Even if Emma had an unsavory past, why would she die so quickly? How do you explain the fact that she's dead while others are still alive? People like me, you mean? Wait, that's not what I said. But you obviously meant it. Look, believe it or not, but I don't think I've done anything particularly punishable by Evelyn's standards. I'm not perfect by any means, and that's why most girls hate me, but... Jessica smiles with a delusioned air. Most girls like to drag me through the mud, but I guarantee you I've never stolen anyone's boyfriend or cheated on anyone for that matter. To tell you the truth, I've actually always been the one to get... Jessica pauses, her cheeks suddenly rosy. Anyway.
I, Spartan Lord, we will stand and fight and die.
Hi, Itchy. Thank you so much for the resub. How are you doing?
What a beautiful creature.
Ooh, what was for lunch? And I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the resub. A sandwich was okay, kind of sad. Oh. What was on your sandwich?
I, Spartan Lord, we will stand and fight and die.
Hey, Doifer. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the resub. How are you doing? You're good? Nice. Glad to hear that. Hey Dennis, good to see you. How you doing? Oh, you make me drink. That means now I'm gonna have to go downstairs to grab myself a new bottle of water. Just turkey and pickles? Oh. Green is really infestating this page. Hey, I'm gonna put the be right back screen on because I need to run downstairs real quick, so I'll be right back.
Hell yeah, we've got a real badass over here.
I'm back. Hey, just a friend, thank you for the hoist. You're switching up my very green page. Oh, oh, oh. How are you doing, just a friend? Good to see you. Having to tell like this story, it really makes me have to take very deep breaths because I'm kind of out of breath for reading this. It's ridiculous. I had the most mind-blogging chemistry lecture. How so? Thank you for the hoist. Alright. I was a newcomer freshman instead of teaching. He continued where he last left, so me with other freshmen just didn't understood a single thing. Well, what a shit thing to do from that teacher. Like, that's not fair at all. Trying to fill up my lungs with enough air, but the biggest gasps is not really filling it. Anyway, all that to say, I'm probably doomed, but I'm not that surprised I'm still alive. For now. The problem is what you told me about Evelyn's change in method from the first loop. She seems to want to give the students some semblance of choice in order to take the level of sadism up a notch, with no concern for collateral damage. What do you mean? Look at Wes. She let him choose who to fight to the death with. And it fell on you. Still, she didn't really want you dead. Not right away, at least. And you are still alive, while the twins are both dead. If she had wanted to target you and Wes, she would have found an excuse to have you both killed at the end of the duel, no matter what. New migraine washes over me. Why does everything have to be so complicated? As you figured out, I'm not exactly in good terms with the other girls. Far from it. So if Evelyn decides to ask a girl to pick someone, let's say my time is fast approaching. Yeah, if your theory is correct, then yeah, I guess. Assuming her theory is indeed correct. But there's no clear evidence that my theory is correct. It's very possible that Evelyn actually targets her victims randomly, depending on her mood at the moment. Maybe there are no good students. Maybe we're all doomed. I shake my head in resignation. It's a certainty. We're all doomed. You, me, the others, everyone. Could be. Indeed. But all the more reason to try something. Jessica, I've had this discussion with you before, and then, during the first loop. It cost us Dan's life, and what did we get in return? Evelyn didn't die. The day started over. And then... My voice begins to tremble slightly. Dan is dead for good, for nothing. Jessica is silent for a moment. If I understand how hard it must have been for you to go through all the first time. Hey Arza, good to see you, how you doing? But you really need to get through your head that this is the first time for me. Jessica places her hands on my uninjured arm. You said it before, we're doomed. So we might as well try something to get out of this, even if the chances are slim. We can't just sit back and wait for Evelyn to come and kill us off one by one. You know that. Dan would have said the exact same thing. He did say the exact same thing. And you're forgetting a crucial asset you didn't have in the first loop. Common sense. Experience. I call it common sense. Think about it. Thanks to your memories, we know we can harm her. You've already done it. By sacrificing Dan. Maybe, but that means she's still vulnerable. If that were really the case, then I wouldn't be stuck here in a second loop. So you could rest in your cozy little bed while we're all dying in this loop? Damn it, Jessica, you knew exactly what I meant. Right, sorry. Your most important memory is that medallion thing. I give her a slightly disillusioned look. You lost your favorite medallion? Jessica smacks the back of my head exactly as she would have done with Dan. Evelyn's medallion, you idiot. You told me it kept glowing after she was dead. A few concerned looks turn our way at Jessica's abrupt exclamation. I glance in panic in the direction of the board. Evelyn continues to write on a completely word-filled board, pausing here and there to explain a technical term. Keep your voice down. Jessica seems upset, but leans forward a little more towards me. We were talking about Evelyn's medallion. The medallion. The striking medallion that seems to have a will of its own, which always glows with an unhealthy blue glow. Right. Her medallion. You said it still seemed to be full of energy when she was stabbed. That insidious blue energy she uses every time she casts a spell, correct? Yeah, but you don't really think it would be that easy, do you? That all you'd have to do is to break the medallion in order to take away your powers? Jessica glances sideways at Evelyn, still reciting the chorus with a beaming look on her face. Just looking at her, it's impossible to imagine that she has just slaughtered half of the class. It does sound a bit too simple indeed, but did you notice that she always touches her medallion right after she uses her magic? I try to remember her every move. Her cruel smile after each kill, sadistic laughter, her evanescent movements, her hand on her medallion. I remember clearly her hand caressing her medallion, her left hand. The one she uses to cast the majority of her spells. Or all of her spells. Did she ever use her right hand? I press my fists into my temples as if to calm the turmoil that is stirring them. The more I try to concentrate, the more my memories escape me. Did she always touch her medallion? Is it as simple as that? Maybe it's not so strange. After all, wizards use a magic catalyst, don't they? Whether it's a staff, a grimoire, or a familiar. I giggle nervously. Jessica, we're just trying to translate fictional stories into reality. We're trying to fit squares into circles to convince ourselves. Jessica smiles at me. I didn't know about your insightful side. If I were really insightful, I would be able to find a better theory. I agree with you that this theory seems to be too forced. That being said, so is your theory about the consistency of the murders, and yet it happened to be true. That's your opinion. The fact is that it is far from absurd, and that so far it still hasn't been explicitly disproven. Back to the medallion theory. Again, it's not totally absurd. You've seen her like I have. She keeps touching her medallion. I don't know what your first loop looked like, but in this one, she didn't stop touching it. After every use of her magic. I paid more attention to it because it was the thing that immediately stood out to me when I first saw Evelyn. This medallion, it's like you said, glows with an unhealthy glow, unnerving. I can't deny that last point. That blue glow. I feel like I could be hypnotized forever if I immersed myself in it too long. A light that is both fascinating and dangerous. I'm drawn to it like a moth to a lamp that will eventually burn it out. You really think that this could be the source of her power? That breaking it would be enough to get rid of Evelyn for good? Honestly though, we said this on Tuesday as well. Ugh. Like, they keep mentioning the medallion. Do you really think it would, like, do absolutely fucking nothing? Jessica closes her eyes for a moment, then turns her head towards Evelyn. I don't know. What I am convinced of is that physically killing her won't be enough. We have to try something more. And thanks to your experience with the first loop, I feel like we're onto something regarding that little something more you were missing the first time. Meaningless accessory. Yeah, totally. I don't know if it's the right lead, but it's the one that makes the most sense, given the clues we were able to gather. Jessica squeezes my hand while fixing Evelyn with a hate-filled stare. What is certain, however, is that we are running out of time. If we do nothing, our death will be certain. And I refuse to die like everyone else, torn between surprise and helplessness. I'm even more impressed with Jessica's strength of mind than I was in the first loop. I always thought she was a very confident girl, but to show such determination when facing immense death is totally different. I'm with you, Jessica. I have very strong doubts about your theory, but I'll follow you. If we are going to be condemned, we might as well die with our heads held high. I already gave up on everyone during the first loop. I let them take all the risks. I won't do it again. This time, I will fight. Jessica smiles softly at me, and her features soften completely. Thank you, Boya. We can do this. Together. Galvanized by this renewed hope, I managed to calm the rush of blood to my temples. Well, now that we agree on the theory, how do we put it into practice? We have no choice but to physically kill her before we destroy her medallion. Doing the opposite would be far too risky. Jessica nods. Right. And the other problem is that we can't use the same ruse we did during the first loop. Evelyn, too, has retained her memories of the first loop very logically. She won't fall into the same trap twice, even without that Wes filth to warn her. We don't even have a weapon on hand. I pause as I notice a glow near her knees. A metallic glow with a strange blue sheen. While you were fighting with Wes, I picked up the dagger that was stabbed in Emma's back. Just in case. A brilliant insight, I must say, even it was at the cost of my life. Are you sure Evelyn didn't... She was totally absorbed in your duel, you can believe me. So was the rest of the class. Except you, it seems. Don't try to guilt me with the maudlin tone. Any opportunity is good to set up the next move. Unlike me, she knows how to keep her head cool under any circumstance. Although I would have liked a little more empathy. I was this close to dying out there. You think I'm cruel, don't you? Because I didn't sacrifice myself unnecessarily to come to your rescue? You know very well that Evelyn would have struck me down on the spot if I had come within 10 meters of you. Jessica quickly embraces my shoulder. You know I care about you. I just tried to do the best I could with what little room I had. I promise you that I would have mourned your death just like I did for Dan. I read real pain in her eyes. She and Dan have never dated, but they clearly had a bond more powerful than mere friendship. Almost like brother and sister. Jessica, I miss Dan too. A lot. We'll do our best to avenge him. To avenge him by taking down that witch. Jessica nods slowly, her eyes fixed on Evelyn. But for that, we absolutely have to come up with something that will really surprise her. She gives me a long, hard look. I don't know why, but she seems to have a special place for you. You're the only one who could keep your memories, and you're the only one who came out of your interactions with Evelyn alive. At least for now. That's exactly what I told myself during the first loop. Except, Evelyn didn't lift a finger when she was about to be killed by Wes. He was the one who saved me by killing himself, not Evelyn. Oh wait, I brought my bottle because I had to drink because Diver made me drink, and I forgot to drink for Diver. So this one is for Diver. Yeah, lots of talking, I know. And the second one was for Arta. Alright, back up to speed. Cheers. She was ready to see me die, just like the others. If you think she's going to obey me nicely if I ask her to give us her medallion? No, of course not. But she does give you some pretty special privileges anyway. You insulted her on several occasions, and without any retaliation from her. I really think she treats you differently. You can indulge in things we're not allowed to. Like what? I don't know. You can be more familiar with her. Shake my head gently. Fair enough. Look, I'll try to ask her out on the date, but if she chops my head off in the process, promise me you'll try to take a piece of my body back to my mom, okay? Jessica smacks my skull again. This is becoming a habit. Ow. Stop making noise. We'll get spotted by Evelyn. You're the one... Jessica throws another blow at me. More powerful than the last one. Sorry. Try to think of something that would surprise her. Something only you could do. I'll take care of finding an opening to stab her. And in the meantime, you can shove your sarcasm up your... Jessica pauses as she noticed the dead silence in the room. I slowly turn to the board while knowing full well the vision that awaits me. Evelyn, her usual falsely warm smile on her face. All eyes on us. Well, I think it's high time we got back to some questions. Shit. The pretty girl in the back. Jessica, right? I feel Jessica flinch slightly. We still have no plan. Evelyn slowly walks up the stairs in her direction with her regal steps, a toothy grin on her lips. She knows she's going to kill again. She's looking forward to it. A cruel smile, sadistic. Reaching her level just behind me, she leans slightly towards Jessica. Students in the back always stand to chat during class. Jessica remains petrified. Her brain is probably racing with an alternative plan. Any plan at all, even. Shit, Jessica's going to die. I have to try something. But what? Scream? Hit her in the face? Throw my laptop at her? Anything to surprise her. Something only I can do. Only me. And Evelyn. I jump to my feet. Evelyn! Evelyn turns to me, a slightly surprised look on her face. Iboya, you have to wait your turn. I'm already questioning. Without hesitation, I wrap both arms around Evelyn and pull her close to me. I'm completely crazy. What was I thinking? Wait, what are you... Against all odds, the mortal blow I was expecting never comes. Evelyn remains as paralyzed by my gesture. Evelyn... I'm sorry. Evelyn weakly tightens both her arms against me. What the hell is this? She's supposed to kill me, right? So why am I seeing so much sadness in her eyes? This unimaginable behavior makes absolutely no sense. Unless... Jessica appears right behind Evelyn, dagger brandished in the air. Jessica, wait! She doesn't wait. The dagger comes down on Evelyn's neck several times, spraying a stream of dark blood all around her. Evelyn keeps her gaze on me, a still sad look on her bloody face, as if she felt no pain, only sadness in reaction to my gesture. As if holding her close to me was more meaningful than having a sharp dagger go into her jugular. With a last breath, Evelyn speaks my name before collapsing to the floor. No spell, no horrified screams, just my name. Evelyn. I stare with dazed eyes at Evelyn's inert body as she completely bleeds to death. She was trying to tell me something? Jessica brings me back to reality with force. Boya, hurry up, we have to destroy her medallion. Around us, the other student starts to get agitated. She's dead. You killed her, it's a miracle. It's over? It's really over? Try to open the door. Are you crazy? Do you want to burn to death? She's dead, we're safe now. You bet. Go ahead then, I'm not taking the risk. Move over and open the door. The voices of the survivors gradually rise in intensity as they move towards the door. Other than Jessica and I, there is no one left on this side of the room. No one else seems to care about Evelyn. Jessica grabs the medallion, which still glows with an almost palpable bluish energy. Exactly like the last time. I can't get it off her neck. Well, let me try. No matter how hard I pull, the medallion refuses to go over Evelyn's bloody neck. That would mean that this medallion really has a magical power? Never mind, we'll hold it in place on her chest and destroy it. I feel like I'm totally clueless. A torrent of conflicting emotions is stirring inside me. Well, yeah, wake up. Try to hold it in place. I'm going to stab it with the dagger. Oh, okay. With trembling hands, I pull the chain so as to immobilize the medallion on Evelyn's body. On 3. 1, 2... Jessica brings the dagger down on the medallion with deadly precision. A sound of shattering glass accompanies the impact, and the bluish glow disappears completely. My body freezes in anticipation of a surge of magical energy escaping from the medallion and invading the entire room. But nothing comes. A triumphant clamor tells me that someone has finally volunteered to open the door successfully. Get out! I want out! Let me through, please. Jessica sits on the floor, exhausted. Is it over? I nod, my eyes locked on Evelyn's blood-covered face. I don't see a blue glow anymore. With tears in her eyes, Jessica runs a hand through her hair. We did it. Yeah, I'm sure of it. I straighten up and extend my hand to Jessica to help her up. Come on, let's get out of here. There's no point in staying any longer. Jessica grabs my hand and follows me. I look back one last time at Evelyn's lifeless body. There's not a trace of magic left this time. Nothing but dead flesh. Evelyn, Emma, Dan, the twins. I don't know if you can really say we won. We survived, sure. But as far as who won? I look around the completely empty and silent room. The omnipresent corpses and blood marks, the advent of the reign of death. The only winner. I suppress another bout of nausea and claps Jessica's hand in mine. Let's go. Jessica, her face still very pale, nods and follows me without a word. At the moment of crossing the threshold of the door, a shiver of anguish seizes me. It is here that Evelyn's voice had resounded in my head at the end of the first loop. Are you satisfied with this conclusion? And boy, are you okay? I pause, then take a step forward, my body contracting. Nothing. No voice out of nowhere. No residual magic. No evil laughter. Just the sweat oozing from my forehead and the dried blood on my right arm. And the smell of death flooding the entire room. This time, it's over. For good. Without another glance, I drag Jessica outside to freedom. Oh, we still have 5 minutes. The blue sky greets us with a disarming nonchalance, as if the outside world never acknowledged the horror we experienced. Most of the students have already left the school, probably returning to their loved ones to celebrate their survival. A few students in tears are sitting on the surrounding lawn, probably too shocked to go home right now. This nightmare will leave no one unscathed. I turn to Jessica, her face still very pale. What about now? Are we saved? I look up at the bright blue sky. Last time, I heard Evelyn's voice after she died, and the sky suddenly changed color, and I pause, watching for any sign that Evelyn might be back. Apart from the chirping of carefree birds, no particular sound reaches me. The sky remains blue, and the sun continues to warm my sweat-soaked clothes. I think it's really over. Although, I still don't understand why Evelyn... The last words hang in the air as I meet Jessica's eyes again. A few tears gently trickle down her wet cheeks. Jessica, it's over. Jessica nods, her big eyes locked on me. Oh. Most naturally, our lips come together and we kiss. I open my eyes and see that tears are still rolling down her eyes. I don't know if we really feel love for each other. We are simply overcome by a wave of irrepressible happiness following the immense relief of having survived. Our will to live was stronger than Evelyn, stronger than death. There is no disrespect to Emma's memory, or to all the unfortunate people who have passed away. We are simply satisfying a primitive need for human warmth, for contact. In other words, we are using all our senses to confirm that we are alive. After a long embrace, I gently run my hand through Jessica's amber hair and pull away from her lips slightly. Jessica shakes her head. Thank you. I needed this. Terribly needed it. I smile softly at her. Yes, so did I. I can't find the words to express the torrent of emotion that run through me, and neither can Jessica, it seems. Our two foreheads glued together, we are crossed by a small nervous laugh punctuated by some tears. Joy and sadness move together, like two lovers that everything opposes. I kiss her again, then raise my eyes to the sky. A light shiver comes over me when I hear the whisper of the wind reaching my ears, but I don't hear any voice of cruel laughter. Nothing but the usual lament of the breeze that slightly softens the feeling of warmth from the sun. The sun slowly begins its daily decline, which will last until dusk. The clock is ticking again. This loop has ended. I feel Jessica's hands gently caress my face. But yeah, about all the death. Emma, Dan, everyone. I look down at Jessica and hold her a little closer to me. Jessica, I have absolutely no idea how to grieve for Emma, for Dan, for all the people who died, for nothing. I will probably be haunted by the memory of that nightmare for the rest of my life. It's a trauma that will probably never heal, but that doesn't mean it can't be appeased. Through time, through feelings, through the power of life. Jessica nods silently, aware that she is also doomed for life, carrying the weight of this terrifying memory. So, over the next few days, I'd like for us to stay together, if that's okay with you. To grieve. Try to move on together. Jessica offers me a shy smile. Let's stay together. I raise my gaze to the sky again. I don't know how long it will take me to grieve. I don't even know if I'll be able to really move on. But with Jessica, I'm less anxious about going entire nights without sleep. To have someone there for me during the inevitable night terrors that will afflict me. To be there myself to calm her own terrors. To simply be together. Thank you. I will take care of you. I promise. Jessica pulls herself up on her toes and kisses me again. I welcome the touch of her strangely raspy lips as if... What fresh horror game will she be playing today? It's the same one from Tuesday. We're just, like, finishing up on it. Okay. I think because this little flicker with Jessica just happened, but what I thought was gonna happen, and I think it's coming true, is that Jessica was the one breaking the medallion. But I don't really think, like, it broke, like, the witch's existence or whatnot. I think it just transformed into Jessica's body. Since she was the one, like, who stabbed it. So I kind of think I'm now actually kissing the witch. Well, we'll see, I guess. How are you doing, Lander? Good to see you. No. No. No! I immediately pushed Jessica's petrified body away. No! Jessica looks at me anxiously. But it's me, Jessica. It's over. We're safe. You're doing good? Nice. I'm glad to hear that. I'm fine too. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I point a trembling finger in her direction. Jessica, no. Your body is... No. I pound my temples with both fists as if to alter my perception of reality. Or rather, to leave this nightmare and finally return to reality. I thought she was gonna become a witch, but she apparently is now a corpse. Okay. No, boy. We have made it. Jessica moves closer to me and tries to gently take my arm. Don't worry. It's over, I promise. I push Jessica away with a compulsive gesture as if her petrifaction is contagious. No, please, no. Jessica's inhumanly ravaged face bursts into tears. Boya, please. Evelyn is dead, You should avoid that kind of peremptory statement. I turn my head to the melodious voice I know all too well. That playful, honeyed, and all at once cruel voice. Evelyn stands a few feet away from us, perfectly unharmed. Her body, her clothes, her face... There's no indication that she was stabbed to death just a few minutes before. I stare at her medallion, untouched. You were dead. That's... Evelyn waves her left hand in a nonchalant gesture, as if swatting away an unwelcome fly. Jessica's body immediately freezes, then collapses in on itself. Just like then. As if nature had just claimed its right over the dead flesh for far too long. I stare distraughtly at Jessica's disjointed body as it lies on the ground. Jessica, she was... Evelyn stares at me in amazement. What exactly did you expect? Of course she's dead. Stifling a tremendous urge to vomit, I straighten up in Evelyn's direction. How he destroyed your medallion? No more magic glow emanates from the medallion, whose surface lazily reflects the sunlight of Evelyn's moves. This old trinket? Oh no, you didn't think it was the source of my power, did you? Evelyn gives me a particularly condescending look. I mean, hey boy, It was just a little charm, nothing more. I just like the color. No, please, no. I start to cry, frankly. I can't take it anymore. It is too much for me. Way too much for my fragile psychological condition. Evelyn approaches me and puts a hand on my arm in a surprisingly gentle gesture. Boy, when you held me... Her cheeks turn pink again. The last expression I would expect from her. Was that just to divert my attention, or did you also want to? Ah! Evelyn freezes as an inhuman scream comes out of my chest. I fall to my knees and hit my temples with both fists. Stop! Stop! Can't take this hell anymore. Kill me, I want you to stop now. Evelyn is now looking at me with a sad look. For some odd reason that I can't understand. For a reason that I don't care about. I don't care anymore. I just wanted to stop. I just wanted all to stop. I just wanted to join Dan and the others. Join them and fall asleep next to them. But yeah, look at me. I wrap both hands around my skull and bury my face in my folded arms, my knees still on the ground. I want to die, I just want to die and join the others. Evelyn kneels beside me and gently places her hand on my shoulder. You really don't remember anything? I remember the death, the suffering, the terror. That's more than enough for me. You won. You won everything. We're in hell and you won, so kill me now. Hey, do you... Kill me now! Kill me! Evelyn flinches away as if I had bitten her. I kinda wanna know what I won exactly. Her eyes become even sadder when she addresses me in a tone of sorrow. Do you wish to remember? Yes. Yes, I do. Is that a choice? Because I'll take it. I raise feverish eyes to Evelyn. Remember? Remember what? The smell of the dead? Your sadistic laughter? Your face distorted by cruelty every time you slaughtered one of us? Remember what, exactly? Remember what? Evelyn looks away. Answer me. Do you wish to remember? The blood drums in my skull. I can't concentrate on anything anymore. Remember? Don't understand. Yes, I want to know. Thank you for giving me the option. Evelyn, her behavior is totally different. Since I took her in my arms, she's not the same at all. As if there was a reason for this whole nightmare. I want to understand. Why? Why did you do all this, Evelyn? Evelyn stares at me silently, tears in her eyes. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. My voice breaks into sobs. Please tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Evelyn sighs heavily, then closes her eyes, placing her hand on my skull. Okay. A misty white veil invades my field of vision. I can no longer see anything but Evelyn. I can no longer feel anything but the warmth of her palm. All my other senses are completely numb. Fatigue, anger, pain. I feel as if I am wrapped in a thick white coat that brings me warmth and comfort. Evelyn's lips move gently, but I can't hear anything. Slowly, my eyelids close. I feel incredibly tired. With my eyes closed, my mind begins to wander as I gradually lose consciousness. I think that... Oi! Oh, what happened? The witch now just looks like a very shy girl that gets bullied a lot. Please, Iboya, trust me. You don't want to remember. Remember, forget. No, I want to remember. I want to know how this fucking story goes. I don't think I have the strength to do this. No, I want to remember. Iboya, please. I don't want... Remember! Tell me. You asked me. Like, seriously, though. You were the one asking me if I was the one that wanted to remember this. Okay. Safe. When I open my eyes again, I'm still on the university campus. Despite the unusual silence, everything seems completely normal. The place is deserted, except for a young girl sitting on one of the benches in front of the entrance. But you came, finally. That girl, she looks familiar. Who are you? I looked down at my unharmed right arm without a trace of blood. Was she the one who, treated me? And most importantly, where's Evelyn? Where's Evelyn? You are with her, aren't you? The girl, flinches at my snarky and unnecessarily threatening tone. Iboya, it's me. Eva. Eva? What? Eva from the social studies class? Is that you? Eva nods. A sad smile frozen from her face. Eva, just a student in the same class as me. I think we've actually been in the same class since high school, but I've never really talked to her. A nice girl, but very discreet. Very shy. That's me, without my witch look. My fists clench at the mention of Evelyn. Don't tell me that you are Evelyn. Eva shakes her head gently. Evelyn doesn't exist. She's just one of my appearances, created from fragments of imagination. Don't understand anymore. If Evelyn doesn't exist, then... Are you kidding me? Who killed Emma then? And Dan, Jessica, everybody. Who's the murderer guilty of all this killing, huh? Eva looks down, and a few tears appear in her big eyes. It's more complicated than that. It's you. It's you who did all this. You look so much like her. I can't believe I didn't realize it sooner. Eva does share a number of traits with Evelyn, for sure. Hey, Juniper. Good to see you. How you doing? Younger. Softer. More human. Like she's just Evelyn's little sister. I'm responsible for all of Evelyn's actions, that's right. The trash. Filthy trash. You doing good? Nice, I'm glad to hear that. My jaw twitches painfully in anger. And now that you've revealed your true identity to me, do you really think I won't try to slaughter you? What exactly do you expect? I'm about to pounce on her to hurt her badly. To avenge all those who died because of Evelyn, because of Eva. You wanted to know the truth. You wanted to remember. And I'll tell you everything. And after that, to remember. It's true that Evelyn gave me the choice. I want to understand why. Why all this horror? Why? Eva lowers her eyes to the ground again. All third-year students always go on a trip organized by the university. The school trip. It's coming back to me now. Ours took place very recently, just a few... Ouch! I wince under the sensation of a searing pain that immediately disappears. For us social studies students, the plan was to go visit a historical site in the mountains. The mountains. I remember talking about it with Emma. She was adamant that we go to the hot springs right next to... Ouch. The pain shoots through my skull again. Whenever I focus too much on this trip, I immediately feel... There were about 60 of us who signed up. So the university had reserved a single bus for our class. The bus. The bus! I was dying to go sit next to Dan, but Emma had firmly insisted that we stay together for the entire... Ouch. The pain came back again. Even sharper. The buzz. The buzz. Aha. I feel like my forehead is about to split in two. The pain is becoming more and more intolerable. The buzz. Eva looks at me with a compassionate expression. The pain must be terrible. Try to focus on my voice only. I'm going to remind you of the truth that your brain is trying to hide from you. Eva inhales deeply and keeps her eyes closed for a moment. The buzz. The bus never reached its destination. There was an accident during our climb. A rockfall. Screams. Emma's hand tightening around mine. The intensity of the pain goes up another notch. One of the larger rocks hit us head on. Under the force of the impact, the bus was thrown into the ravine. But yeah. They all died on that fateful day. A flash of pain appears in front of my eyes and almost makes me lose consciousness. We are dead? Dead. I am dead? I continue to stare at Eva despite the terrible pain that forces me to take a knee. Eva's eyes are studded with crystal-like tears that reflect the sunlight like 1,000 sparkling diamonds. When I opened my eyes again, I had a shard of glass stuck in my chest. I could barely breathe. I couldn't hear any more sounds. I was the only survivor and I was bleeding to death. I, too, was dying. Her voice begins to tremble with emotion. I would have preferred to die on the spot like everyone else, but I was doomed to agonize slowly. I called your name, Iboya. I screamed it, but it was surrounded with silence. Alone in the world. Alone before death. Then I prayed with all my might. I prayed for a miracle. With trembling hands, Eva wipes away the tears that flood her face. A face that looks so sweet, so innocent. How could she and Evelyn be one and the same? And the pain in my head is finally starting to fade. I remember everything now. The fall, the horrified screams, the feeling of my heart failing on impact. Emma's terrified eyes pressing against me, her hand in mine. The sensation of falling forever. The nothingness. I died that day. We all died that day. A miracle happened. My pleading was heard. I was given these powers. I look up at Eva. What? Who gave you what? Eva shakes her head sadly. I was given these powers. That's all that matters. While I was dying, I was able to create this alternate reality, this eternal dream, where we were all together again. Eva pauses again, agitated with new sobs. Boy, I'm so sorry. When I got my powers, I thought that it was a sign of fate. That I could finally get my revenge. Revenge for what? Who the hell is this girl? You wanted revenge on the whole class. Eva gives me a sad smile. It's a long story I'm not proud of. About a shy and cowardly student. Eva, she may have been in my class since high school, but I hardly ever talked to her. She's a shy person who barely interacts with others. What does she want to get back at? Don't tell me you wanted to get back at the class just because nobody paid you any attention. Eva laughs nervously. Of course not. That I'm used to. I don't know if I can... The pain finally subsides and allows me to stand up fully. Back there, Earlier, when you were Evelyn, you told me you would tell me everything. That I had a choice to know. And I made that choice. So I want to know. Eva looks away to the horizon. You're right. You have a right to know. But please, I have no right to ask you this, but try not to judge me too harshly. Tell me everything. Eva closes her eyes, as if recalling extremely distant events. I don't even know where to start. Eva reopens her wide eyes and stares at me with affection. I don't think you remember this, but I've been in your class since high school. You've been on the same path ever since, all the way through college. And for as long as I can remember, I've always loved you. Eva loves me? Evelyn loves me? All of this was love. Everything you put me through, it was love? You think it was love? My fists clench again, and a palpable hatred comes over my face. Love. She doesn't care about me. She's insane. All this pain, this torture? Eva raises her trembling hands in front of her, as if to protect herself from my fury. I promised you I would tell you everything, but you have to promise to listen to me all the way. Anger spreads through every fiber of my being. It would be so easy to grab her skull and slam it against the rock. Again and again and again. Leia, please. Her pleading eyes remind me of Emma's just before she died. In the auditorium with Evelyn. In the bus. Emma. I managed to regain control of my emotions. The intense fury finally subsides, and my breathing returns to a normal rhythm. I promise. Thank you. Eva gives me a hesitant look. Do you want to sit next to me? I'm fine where I am. If I get too close, I'm not sure I can suppress my urge to strangle her. Eva gives me another sad smile. Well, of course. I understand. I feel nothing but hatred for her. So why am I afflicted with a twinge of sadness every time I meet her distress-filled eyes? Eva takes a deep breath, as if every new sentence made her suffer. I've loved you. I've always loved you. We very rarely spoke, but I was completely under your charm. My charm? Is she kidding me? I was just an average high school student, nothing special. Not especially handsome, nor popular or smart. So what charm are you talking about? Eva allows herself a warmer smile. You had very popular friends, but despite that, you were nice to everyone. Even with a nobody like me. Whenever we spoke, you didn't care what others thought of me. You were just nice. In my eyes, that made you exceptional. You will always be special to me. I don't know if I was especially nice to anyone. I was just trying to be polite, that's all. You weren't trying to put yourself out there at all costs like most other high schoolers. You just wanted the people around you to be happy. I don't remember being that selfless. I was trying not to hurt others for the sake of it, but anyone would do the same, right? I was just doing it to make people like me. That's all. If I had been really popular, I probably would have been even worse than the others. Eva looks at me with a particularly fond look on her face as she shakes her head. It's in your nature. You're a kind person. It's one of the most beautiful qualities in the world. Being kind is a quality? Yes. Yes, it is. I feel like they say that about the naive and foolish. A quality I sorely lack. I'm so much worse than you? It was this quality that attracted Emma. That's why she fell in love with you. Emma. No one expected a girl like her to end up with someone like me. No one, including me. It's true that I was surprised when she agreed to go out with me. Even when we started college, I was ecstatic to be in the same graduating class as you. I made it my goal to tell you how I felt after freshman year to give me courage, to dare to talk to you more, to spend more time with you. But you fit in very quickly, you made a new group of friends, and most importantly, you started a relationship with Emma. I was devastated when I saw the two of you together, but even so, I was happy for you. Emma seemed nice to you. I thought you two were probably meant for each other, and that fate was telling me to move on alone. So I decided to make a fresh start. I went to all the student parties, I tried to talk to as many people as I could. I really tried to fit in, to be a normal student. It didn't work out so well, except with one person who was quick to give me attention. You know him, I think. His name was Lucas. Lucas, the first victim Evelyn interviewed. I slowly recalled the rumors from the first loop about him. His technique, it was always the same. He targeted shy, isolated girls too. Eva shudders and folds her arms around herself. I was the perfect victim. Isolated, desperate. He invited me to his room. It was the middle of the day. I didn't suspect anything. I thought he might want to just kiss me. The distress in her voice becomes painfully palpable. As soon as I walked in, he locked the door behind me. He pinned me against his bed, and he started to... An intense feeling of unease envelops me in its heavy, overpowering cloak. This is the first time I've heard a testimony like this. I could hardly breathe. I was completely in shock. I never imagined it could happen like that to me. Just imagining this scene makes me nauseous. Lucas was capable of doing such a thing? Then Eva pauses us for a moment. I can hear the sound of tears crashing on the bright green lawn. And she resumes. Her voice becomes more mechanical. As if she was protecting herself behind an automatism of language to evoke this traumatic memory. He filmed everything. He always filmed everything and then sold his videos to Lucy. Lucy, the third victim of Evelyn's questions, right after Matt. The one who was putting porn videos online, no matter where they came from. Lucy owned a porn website. She only posted amateur videos, impossible to find elsewhere. She had several regular suppliers within the university. Lucas was one of her favorites, because videos of non-consenting girls are apparently highly sought after on the internet. Who wants to watch videos like that? If actresses are known to go all out during their filmed lovemaking, they are looking for something normal, right? Once a video is published on the internet, it's there forever. You can't take it down. It will always reappear on another site, like a digital hydra. Hey Piglet, good to see you, how you doing? And regarding pornographic videos, everyone always ends up knowing about it. Yeah, it's a visual novel. We started it on Tuesday. It actually came out on my birthday as well, the same day. It's about a group of students in a classroom and their new teacher turns out to be a witch. Lots of bad things happen. And we are now at the explaining part of it. Like why everything happened. Starting with the relatives. It's absolutely inevitable. When my parents found out about the video, I thought about killing myself. They didn't believe me. They said I was responsible for what happened to me. Fuck you, parents. I was alone, isolated, in complete distress. I couldn't even file a complaint, I was too ashamed. I felt forever defiled. Even my parents, even they didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. My throat constricts slightly with emotion. I never imagined that the consequences of a sexual assault could take on such proportions. I didn't even imagine that this could happen anywhere but at night in a poorly lit alley. I had nothing but dark thoughts. I was thinking of the most discreet way to end my life, so as not to disturb the world around me. I didn't want to live anymore, after all this. I'm sorry. I can't think of anything else to say, I don't know what to think. Evelyn is talking to me, the one who sadistically tortured us. And yet I feel for her from some form of compassion. I'm not a heartless monster. I can't help but feel empathy for those who suffer. Eva has suffered. She continues to suffer. I am truly sorry. Eva lifts her head and gives me another smile. You know, Iboya, the only thing that kept me going back then was you. Promise reminds me of that anime with the alien teacher. I don't know, I don't really watch anime, so I don't know what you're talking about. Just knowing that I was going to see you again the next morning. That's what finally pushed my darkest thoughts away. I kept going, despite the pain. Who would have guessed that there was so much pain so close to me? Who knows if Emma is just an isolated case? Who knows if another anonymous people are not suffering daily? In the same classroom, just a few rows away. Who knows? Is that why Evelyn targeted them? To punish them for what they had done to you? If not slowly. Revenge. Revenge leaves nothing but emptiness. I only realize it now, but Eva inhales painfully, then resumes her story. After my assault, I shut myself off completely. I was actually wondering that, because it was like on the news that they might not be allowed to play, but that the judge ruled that they were allowed to play. Can't make out the songs, but I can hear it. And they threatened to go play somewhere else if they weren't allowed to play the music louder as what normally happens. And I am wondering if they're actually gonna be a little bit of a dick and just put the music and everything as loud as possible to really bug those nature people. Because that feels like a Rammstein thing to do, to be honest. Yeah, but now I'm kind of wondering if they are gonna up it a notch. Just to be like, fuck you guys. Because, I mean, they know who they invited, right? They know what type of people they are, what music they make. So I don't know why they are... Yeah. Music is going the other way. I don't know, maybe if the wind blows it the other direction, you might still... It might become more. I was content to stay in the shadows, protected by my shell. People barely noticed me, even less than in high school. I had become perfectly invisible, to the point where I was completely forgotten. It was so easy for me to learn everyone's secrets. People would barely lower their voices when they saw me, or rather, when they pretended not to see me. All I had to do was sit nearby, pretend to work, and listen. I developed a certain perverse attraction to others' people's sordid stories. As if to convince myself that I wasn't the only one suffering. That after all, the world was just this cruel, and that pain was just one more feeling among many. If I were you, I don't know how I would have reacted. I don't know if... Believe me, you would have reacted much better than I did. Because what drives you is kindness, where my heart was dominated by hatred. I learned a lot of people's dirty secrets. How Matt forced Zoe to have an abortion, for example, and how traumatized she was by it. I quickly understood Chloe's true feelings when I heard her spread the rumor about her sister. Zoe was terrified that her name would be made public, that her parents would find out. I felt like I had experienced something similar. I almost felt sorry for her, especially since I was her own sister who had betrayed her. To cover her tracks, Chloe found a perfect scapegoat. She targeted someone weak and isolated, someone she could safely attack. The famous rumor. She convinced Zoe that you were behind it. That's why Zoe was all the more stunned when she learned that Chloe was the real culprit. Eva nods with a abysmally sad look on her face. Zoe was terrified, and scared people can be very cruel. She proved that to me for many months. She and Chloe have made me pay for it. But you know, I didn't blame Zoe that much. For all her arrogance, she loved her sister deeply, and she took her word for it. That was something I respected a lot. I so wish someone had loved me like that. So it was definitely Chloe that Evelyn was targeting. Zoe was just collateral damage. I waited to torture Chloe a little more by making her think she would get away with it. Is that why you're targeting them both? With special treatment for Chloe? Eva nods again, eyes downcast. I'm not proud of it, but I felt like I was acting on some kind of justice. Justice that was completely twisted, but that systematically went my way. I was both the judge and the executioner. I also learned that Emma had cheated on you. My heart stopped for a moment. Of course Evelyn knew. That's why she targeted Emma. At that moment, I wanted to hurt her so badly. To punish her for daring to do that. When she was the one you had chosen. The one I would have dreamed of being. But I didn't even have the courage to talk to you anymore, ever since I became one of Lucas's victims. How could I have explained to you that Emma had cheated on you? You probably wouldn't have believed me, or worse, you would have hated me for it. You would have eventually learned the truth about me, and Eva catches her breath, her voice slightly hoarse. I stayed a spectator, hoping that you would eventually discover the truth somehow, and to finally be able to contemplate Emma's plight. Emma, she's been trying so hard. Following this event, she seemed to make you happy. Time passed, and in the end, you never learned the truth. You stayed together, and your relationship even grew stronger. The pieces of the puzzle are slowly falling into place. Eva, she'd been repressing her hatred for months, for years. She's been abused, humiliated, hurt. All this masquerade, these powers mysteriously offered on a silver platter, She was finally be able to take revenge on her tormentors. But her twisted justice, to use her words, was gradually altered by the intoxication of power. The court became a farce, and justice became cruelty. A cruel and absurd outlet. Then, Jessica, did you plan to kill them? Did they humiliate you too? Eva turns her head towards the horizon, staring into space. I don't know. I don't know what I was planning anymore. I felt almighty, like the world was finally seeing me as who I wanted to be. Respected, admired, feared. I guess I would have spared them a little longer if they hadn't tried to. Eva sighed heavily, and a sad smile appeared on her lips. Jessica was pretty unsympathetic, but to be honest, she treated all the girls the same. She was like a wounded animal, snarling and scared. The other girls were nice to her, far from it. She was just trying to protect herself. I would stay in my corner and she would leave me alone. As for Dan, he never gave me the slightest bit of attention, neither good nor bad. I had no particular reason to get back at him, if he had stayed in his place. That explains why Dan and Jessica survived so long, why Emma was sacrificed before them. So my theory was partially correct. I let out a nervous chuckle. It's a pointless win. Completely pointless. Despite the tears, Evra's big eyes look into mine. I'm really not proud of having taken revenge like that. I feel a lot of shame about it. And even more so because you're the one I'm telling this whole story to. But the worst part is that these revenges were not my main goal. They were just an extra satisfaction. Eva clenches her small fists resting on her lap. I owe you the truth. The real reason I orchestrated this whole masquerade, all this violence, a voice breaks into sobs, was because of you. I wanted to hurt you. Just you. Me? What? I stared at Eva in a daze, my brain thinking fast. I never did anything to her, did I? After all these years, we had barely talked together. Especially in college. And she said it herself. I was pretty nice to her. Polite, at least. Normal. I have never done anything cruel. But I never did anything to you. I'm not a freak like Lucas or Lucy. That's it. You didn't do anything. Eva shakes her head painfully. I know it's unfair to blame you for this, but after the assault, you had become my beacon in the night. The only reason I was willing to live another day, despite the humiliation, despite the indelible stain inside me. But when Chloe convinced her sister to lash out at me, I found myself on the verge of despair again. I couldn't understand how so many cruelties could happen to me. Every time I looked at you from afar, I gritted my teeth and managed to take another humiliation. I wanted you to be proud of me, even if you had no idea what I was going through. As long as you didn't know, I couldn't blame you. You were my secret love, my one and only comfort. But one day, you finally learned. You saw everything. And you looked away. Tears flowed gently down her alabaster skin, thin as porcelain. Thin, delicate, and fragile. My eyes widen as the scene flashes back to me. Of course I knew. That morning I saw Chloe and Zoe. I saw them humiliating Eva in a secluded corner of the park. They were putting her through. They were cruel. I saw the desperate look in Eva's eyes, the same look she has now. I lowered my eyes and walked away. As if I hadn't seen anything. I had a fight with Emma, our biggest fight ever. I was scared, terrified of losing her. I desperately needed the twins' support to convince Emma to forgive me, to advocate for me. They were so close, the three of them. When I saw them hurting you, I didn't want to risk turning them against me. I chose to look the other way. I lower my gaze in turn. I'm sorry, Eva. I like it when you say my name. With her face still studded with tears, Eva flashes a small, embarrassed smile. I can't find the words. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't even know what to feel. Pity? Passion? Hate? Is that enough to justify her actions? She made the whole class suffer. The whole class that was already dead before she even began her revengeful, power-drunk work. It was unfair of me to expect you to react any other way. Anyone would have looked the other way. Everyone who knew before you looked away. But I couldn't help but hope. In my eyes, you were perfect. An ideal of kindness. You were the one who had saved me without even knowing it. So when you left me to my fate, I experienced it as the worst betrayal. I thought I was going to lose all hope, but my love for you turned to resentment, into hate. I had no right to blame you. I'm so sorry, but I couldn't help it. Because of that hate, I found the strength to keep living until this trip. Until the accident. Eva bites her lips in obvious pain. You're free to not believe me, but when I was dying, after the accident, I didn't pray that I could get revenge. Or even to get out alive. I prayed for you to survive. I feel completely unnerved by the last sentence. She wanted me to survive, despite the hatred she felt? I don't understand. You hated me. Eva shakes her head. Hate is no substitute for love. On the contrary, it only amplifies it. I never stopped loving you. With all my heart. I remained stunned by her words. Evelyn loved me. She did all this for me, torn between her resentment and her love for me. I was the main character in this masquerade. That's why she was so familiar with me, that she would spare me no matter what I did. But after I got these powers, I thought it was my destiny to punish you. That you deserved to be punished. I wanted to punish you, to make you suffer by killing those you were close to. Until you felt the despair that had become my daily life for years. You wanted to multiply the loops, to continue punishing me. You allowed me to keep all my memories unlike the others, so that my despair would build up with each new loop. Eva awkwardly wipes her tears with the back of her hand. But forgive me, I'm so sorry. I had no right to make you suffer when I love you so much. I remained stunned. Conflicting feelings buzzed furiously inside me. When I saw you collapse after Jessica's death, when you begged me to kill you in despair, I felt an immense emptiness. I felt nothing of the joy I had imagined. It was all bitterness. I knew then that had been wrong all along. My powers I meant to save the one I love, not to hurt him. Around us, the horizon blurs slightly. Something's not right. What's going on? I'm going to do what I should have done all along. Forgive me. I'm petrified of an outburst of power that I'm unable to comprehend. The world around us slowly crumbles, leaving only a bright white light behind. What are you doing? Stop. Don't worry. I'm going to save you. No, you can save us all. I know you can do it. Eva smiles at me with a sad look on her face. I'm the only one left. I can only save one person. A life for a life. I won't save anyone but you. I love you. Maybe I could save her? Who is her? Her as in Eva? Or her as in Emma? Well, there must be another solution. We can... Eva continues to smile at me. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for me. I'm sure we can find a way to save us all. I'm so glad you care about me. Thank you. I try to rush at her, but an invisible barrier prevents me. Stop, let me through. We can do this. Eva shakes her head, a loving look on my face. Eva, you don't deserve to die. I was the coward. I should have done something. No one deserves to die. I only realize that now. Traces of blood appear on Eva's body as the world continues to crumble all around us. Iboya, if you ever manage to forgive me, I hope you'll keep a small place in your heart for me. I drum both fists against the invisible barrier. Once again, I'm totally powerless, like in the auditorium with Evelyn. Hey, hacking! I hope you're enjoying your new PC. Like, since I died. Could you repeat my name? Tears stream down my cheeks. The blood stains widen on her body and the pain in her voice is palpable. Despite this, her smile remains intact. I love when you say my name. Thank you. Forgive me. Farewell. I love you. I can't see anything but a blinding white light. No matter how much I scream, no sound comes out of my mouth. Helplessly, I close my eyes and lose consciousness. The Midnight Witch has decided to lift the curse. To save you. Sir? Sir, can you hear me? His heart rate is stable. He should regain consciousness. Sir, if you can hear me, look at me. Ah. I tried to articulate a few words, but only a guttural rattle comes out of my mouth. I open my eyes and discover that what appears to be a hospital room. Several people in scrubs are bent over me. I feel almost no pain, and my brain is perfectly awake. One of the people leaning over me, dressed in a long white coat, carefully straightens me up. Guess he's a doctor? Looks like my professor. I feel like I recognize him. Don't worry, it's a side effect of the anesthesia. You'll be able to talk very soon. How are you feeling? I have a... You need to rest. Everything is fine, don't worry. Where is Eva? My voice regains some composure. Although my body is still very numb, my mind is clearer than ever. I'm back in reality. The real one. The one where the accident took place. Is everyone dead? The doctor sits down on the edge of the bed and motions for the other people to leave the room. Listen, Iboya, can I call you Iboya? I think you can just call me Aibo. I think I prefer that. What happened? Where is Eva? You were caught in a terrible accident. I know, I remember. The doctor nods his head gravely. The bus you were on fell into a ravine. Given the force of the impact, all of its passengers were condemned to almost certain death. Against all odds, rescue workers found 2 survivors. You and one of your fellow classmates. You know her, apparently. Her name is Eva. Where? A painful coughing fit interrupts me, but I manage to catch my breath. Don't push too hard, you're still. Eva, where is she? Eva had punctured lungs. We put her on oxygen, but her chances of survival were slim. As for you, your heart gave out immediately upon arrival at the hospital. We tried everything to resuscitate you, but you seem doomed. I place my hand on my heart, whose steady beat radiates into my palm. Your prognosis was very serious. You needed a heart transplant urgently, but we had no organs on hand. Your classmate, Eva? Despite the pain, she kept repeating your name over and over with what little oxygen she could manage to absorb. Her other organs eventually failed one by one, and she finally succumbed shortly after arriving in the emergency room. Tears well up in my eyes. Eva, she really died. By a twist of fate, she was on the donor list and her heart was in perfect condition. We checked your compatibility and we decided to start the heart transplant immediately. Without this providential heart, you would not have made it through the night. The surgery was very difficult given your precarious condition, but we ended up stabilizing you thanks to this heart. You are what we call a miracle case. The whole staff is very glad to see you alive. Eva sacrificed herself to save me. Her heart beats inside me. With both hands on my heart, I bend my head and burst into tears. The doctor places his hand on my shoulder in a comforting gesture, then leaves the room. Eva, thank you. Tears roll down my cheeks and finish their inexorable fall into the white sheets. I'm sorry, Eva, I'm not worthy of your sacrifice. I turn my gaze to the window. My heartbeat quickens slightly, as if she is still present with me. She is, because you have her fucking heart. As if to send me one last goodbye. Eva, I will never forget you. You will always have a special place in my heart. In your heart. Everyone is dead, except me. Emma, Dan, Jessica, Eva, everyone. In our heart. I lost everything that day. My friends, Emma. I'm all alone now. And yet, I received something incredible. Thanks to Eva. I'm alive. The greatest gift ever. I must live for all those who died. To honor the memory of those who love me. Those who will never walk this earth again. To live in a way that makes Eva proud of me. To be worthy of the image she had of me. To be worthy of her sacrifice. The sun slowly continues its path across the horizon, and a few rays reach my face as if to greet me. Eva, thank you for everything. The future probably still holds many sorrows for me, but also joy. So much potential joy. No matter what happens, I have to keep moving forward. For Emma. For the others. For all those whom the journey stopped too quickly, too soon. Forever. Forever. There were a few curveballs in there. Dang. Thank you so much for playing. You're welcome. Oh, are we not done yet? I don't know, that's safe. Real fast. Light? Iboya? Iboya, can you hear me? Iboya, forgive me for everything I put you through. I don't want to do it again. All I want, it's for you to forget this nightmare. Trust me, it's for the better. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I love you. I will always love you. So, farewell. Start the nightmare over. No. What happens if I click on Eva again? Do we get the same light thing then? Or something new? Lights. Can you hear me? Please forgive me. Don't want to do it again. Thank you for everything. I love you. So, farewell. Oh, okay. No, that was it. That was exactly the same. I have no desire to start the nightmare over again. Also, because, you know, this game does not have any achievements, so... Why would I? Do I have a... No? Okay. I cannot stop this game. You need to force close it. Escape does not work. Okay. Right. That still was longer than I thought it was gonna be. So I don't know who considers a 9-hour-long game a short game. Like, lots of people were saying that this was a short game, but I really do not see it as such. But that could be just me, maybe? But I did like it. I had a few twists. Overall, yeah, pretty good story. Okay, I do still have time for the demo that I wanted to play afterwards. Because, yeah, like I said, I didn't know how long this was still gonna take. But, considering, looking at the time, I still have time to play the demo. I don't know how long the demo is gonna take, though. But, we'll see. Let's see. Okay. Jan. As I said at the beginning of this stream, Aloft has been a game that I have on my wish list, but the more I look at like pictures on the Steam page, the more conflicted I am. Like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I think I'm gonna like certain aspects of the game, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna like the entire game. So I hope that the demo is gonna help me a little bit with making up my mind with if I like it or not. But luckily, you know, demos are there to do such things, right? They are there for you to decide if you actually want to buy the game or not. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna address it as, you know, its intentions. There you go. Okay. Well, we can create a character. Our background is coming soon, and the randomize. I thought it was randomizing the background, but it's just randomizing my own. Yeah, I'm probably more yellow than anything else, but this feels more normal. I have brown eyes. And I think that face works best. Can be bold. Ooh. Orange. I have dark brown, so that works. Boobies. I think I like that one best. Tattoos are coming soon. Haha, that fits. Okay, confirm. Yeah. I kind of feel like I look like from a character from Avatar. Okay. Multiplayer is also coming soon. Well, that is a plus. Right, options. It's just volume, gameplay, language, English, field of view. I want that to be maxed out because I don't know if this is first person or not. Camera shake off, please. Introduction tutorial, yeah, let's leave that on. Graphics, that's all fine. Bonus. You can also play this with controller. Key bindings. Walk, run, jump, crouch, all the normals. Good. Interact, E. Tool, swing, block. 2 button. 3 button. 4 button. 5 button. 6 button. 7 button. 8 button. 9 button. 10 button. 11 button. 12 button. 13 button. 14 button. 15 button. 16 button. 17 button. 18 button. 19 button. 20 button. 21 button. 22 button. 23 button. 24 button. 25 button. 26 button. 27 button. 28 button. 29 button. 30 button. 31 button. 32 button. 33 button. 34 button. 35 button. 36 button. 37 button. 38 button. 39 button. 40 button. 41 button. 42 button. 43 button. 44 button. 45 button. 46 button. 47 button. 48 button. 49 button. 50 button. 51 button. 52 button. 53 button. 54 Building menu. Inventory is enter. That might feel a little weird, not being I, but okay. Can I? No, it doesn't matter. Start game. Create a new map. New worlds. Create map. Pre-alpha demo, yes. Alright, so this is first person. Do you think it might help if I am, for just a demo real quick, putting on my wristbands? I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Okay. Right. Ooh. The walking starts pretty fast. Options. Gameplay, field of view, camera shake. Eh. 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 There's nothing about it walking fast. Okay. So we have leaves, a resource used to craft primitive structures and leaf fabric. Wood is crucial to build houses, structures, masts, and tools. Thank you. I don't know, like, where I am or where to start. Oh, that I need to make a pickaxe, but I don't know how to make a pickaxe. Thank you. Alright, this is where I started. And we went up there. And then I went around. I can jump. Okay. These all have the pickaxe logo. Find and pick up small stones. Tip can be displayed in the option. Okay, yeah, but I haven't found any small stones yet. I've only found the ones that they want me to use a pickaxe on. Yay! You can hear my favorite Rammstein song. Find and pick up small stones. Small stones. Because these trees... I see stones over there, but I don't think I can take them. Because I think I will fall. Yeah, mine tile is my favorite one. Might be a weird choice, but I don't know, I like it. There you go. What about you? Our most valuable resource. Creativity was truly limited. Limitless. Workbench. I'm learning how to make tap. Stone is an important building material, can be used to craft tools, and can be sharpened on a workbench. Mix only yellow dotted ingredients together to discover new recipes. Add sources below to begin crafting. Learn recipe. Stone hammer, a tool for building and repairing structures. Crafted. Oh, only, that's fine. Only one. Sharp stone. Sharpened stone can be used on a workbench to craft various tools and weapons. Stone axe, a tool for chopping down trees into logs. Yeah. Stone hammer, stone axe, but not a pickaxe. Okay, I can build all these different types of things for houses. Make a workbench. Leaf stockpile, wood stockpile, and stone stockpile. Alright, but that just means that I'm gonna have to figure out where I want to buy where I want to build my base. How do I use this? One. It's not in there. Inventory. Here. Okay. That's how I use it. Oh, wait. I was just randomly clicking, but I saw what I had to do. Okay, but that doesn't really line up, because that normally falls, but if you click one... Like, if I already clicked one, it's already gone, so... It's a bit weird. I can't add those together for... Yeah. So you will always tell me what I can and cannot use. Kind of looks terrifying, to be honest. I'm just taking whatever I can, as long as it's not telling me that I have a full inventory or anything. I want to know how much I can carry. I was afraid it was gonna fall down. Okay, so I do like the colors and the way it looks. I am, however, already experiencing a headache, considering it being a first person, and I could not set the pace of walking a little bit slower, which I definitely notice. Just picking up whatever it is that I can. Why are you glowing blue? I cannot get through this because I don't have a pickaxe. Yeah, I have way too much. But I'm just gathering what I can, just exploring a little bit. Just to see where the best place is for me to put the workbench and have like my little house and whatnot. There's another glowy rock. So it's getting darker. I don't know if that is gonna mess with my like sanity, or if I'm not able to really see anything anymore, or like, do I need to make a campfire? I'm just thinning it out of wood. As far as I can, basically. Let's just put my stuff here. Use workbench. Okay, now I can make multiple things. You, and you, and you. Give me a long leaf cloth. Cheap but robust. It can be used as silk cloth and as crafting material. Okay, well let's craft one then. You make a stone hammer. And, oh, something with you with it. Gives me a stone pickaxe. There you go. Missing an ingredient. You. Pickaxe over there. Cheap but robust. Yes. This tab is not implemented. The workbench. At home. Stamina consumption reduced. Dreams and progression. This tab is not implemented yet. Use workbench. Cannot really make anything else anymore. B. A long leaf bed. Okay, cool. Need to make a cloth. I have two. So if I go to B, I can make a bed. I'm just randomly placing here. Oh, we can also make a leaf basket. A small storage made of woven leaves. Long leaf clove stockpile. Easily accessible storage made specifically for leaf cloth. And a long leaf cloth. Okay. Explore the island and find a second knowledge stone. Well, now that I made a pickaxe, we can go through here. It's like survival, but nothing is out to kill you yet. I know that there are animals in here. I'm not hitting anything. But I don't know. Windstone, a mysterious glowing transparent stone with magnifying properties. Okay. Oh, I can get through here. Oh, but I want more of this. Let's see if I can craft anything with that. Yeah, we're playing the demo, but it's first person, and it's, you know, it goes already slowly giving me a headache. I put the wristbands on though. Collect water. Dirty water. Clean it before you drink it. To hell with it then. Yeah. It's not good. But, you know. How much dirty water can I collect? Because I seem to have unlimited, like, storage. And it gives me 5 every single time. One pile is 100. So what if I just... Oh. This is not 100, apparently. Leaf pile and wood pile is 100. But the stone and this apparently is not. Okay, never mind then. Maybe I should stop collecting stone too then. You know what I'll be rooting for? Tell me. Your eye surgery magically fixing this for you. Oh, wouldn't that be great though, honestly? But I'm not sure if that's an eye problem or if that's just in my head. Since it just all of a sudden became a problem. Oh look, there's another knowledge stone. Mother Earth provided that from which we thrived. A sawmill. Boogies. Hey Jar Jar, good to see you. How you doing? What are you boogieing for? Sawmill. Sharp enough to saw through wood and transform them into planks. Okay, cool. Build a sawmill. Doesn't matter where I put that. I should just probably put that with the rest of my stuff. Okay, so this is annoying because now I need to go to tab in order to make this instead of it all being like together. And then back to B so that I can do this. Use sawmills. Okay, so the more I click, the more planks I make. I don't know how many planks you want me to make. This is also going faster every single time. Oh, and I missed one, and that's when I went slower. Create planks using the sawmill. Yeah, I did that. How many more planks do you want me to make? I guess quite a lot. Okay. Or do I just need to make planks with all the amount of wood that I have? Ah. That is a fun little detail though, to make it go faster the more amounts you click, right? It's also scary. Ugh, fuck. How many planks do you want me to create? Honestly though, I made planks. I don't think I have more wood. See? I don't have any more wood. Where are my planks, though? Okay. I made too many planks because I had to click it, and that was okay. But I didn't understand how to do that. Okay. No plank stockpile. An easily accessible storage made specifically for planks. Craft a glider using the workbench. Long leaf glider. Artificial wings to lure fly from island to island. Equip with interact and deploy while in the air. Okay. 1, 2. This feels backwards, having to make the thing and then make the thing again for some reason. Okay, well, can I not put that here? But it says that I needed to equip it. How do I equip it? Can I only equip 3 things? No? What if I just jump off? Or do I need to jump? And if I then click interact, it automatically works? Nope. Nope. That's stupid. Artificial wings to fly from island to island. Equip with interact. Interact is either clicking on it or pressing E. And deploy while in the air. But I cannot put it in my area for like number things. None of that works, but I can't put it in my taskbar. How do I do it then? Okay, E is... So I have to hold it and then just equip. But not put it in there. Okay. Now what? Space. Okay. Ooh. How do I go up? Close. Pitch. Yaw. Slow down. I jump, but I don't know where the fuck my island is. That's my home island. Okay. Oh, oh, oh! I yeet it against another island. Here, I want to go here. Confused. Oh! Oh shit! Oh, animals! See? They do try to kill me. Hi. Hi. Ah. Tab. make their fiber. Learn a recipe. Rope. Okay. Craft rope. Tap. B. Rope basket. I needed to do something here. Destroy the knots to cleanse the island. What are the notes that you are like talking about? And what am I heading on? Kill them back. It's only fair. I know, right? I don't know what the notes are that you're talking about. Destroy the notes to cleanse the island. What are notes? Be a little bit more specific. Oh, what? Maybe this will help me. Can't do that yet. Why did I have to pick a difficult island? Lay down. Oh, I can just lay down and chill. You're giving me all the options of things that I can do here, but I can't do them if I haven't destroyed... How do I get rid of this? Something that I don't know what it is. Because I can't chop down the tree. I killed the 3 animals that attacked me. I can lay down again. I don't get it. Yeah, see? Destroy the notes to cleanse the island. But what the fuck is that? Am I actually hitting a thing? Okay. Yes, I am. Oh, oh, oh! I'm just randomly clicking because if I have to wait for this fucking thing to line up with what they want me to click, that is never fucking gonna happen. Alright, my health is bad. I need a proper weapon, please and thank you. The sea of clouds brought us ashore, home once again. A helm. Steering wheel used to pilot an island. Used to pilot an island? What do you mean? Can I just put a steering wheel on an island and use it as a fucking boat? Okay, how do I eat a potato? Because I have a potato. Eat. Okay, do I have enough to make that steering wheel? Yes, I do. Build more floaters to lift the island. Build more rudders to rotate the island. Build more sails to propel the island. Okay. But those, none of that I have. Okay. Okay. Do I have this thing equipped? Yes, I do. I need to go up. I keep forgetting that. A is up. Instead of W, which messes me up a lot. I didn't see if it told me if I was supposed to do anything. I wanted to see if there were... Oh, abandoned chest. Your animals will thank you for it, especially if they're filled with grain or hay. But I don't have any animals yet. Garlic seeds. Cool. There's no knowledge stone here. And I cannot see what it is that I need to do, right? I fell down. Okay, there's a knowledge stone over here. Oh. Oh. just need to clean this island with these things, but... Oh. Exhausted at home. I don't have weapons or anything yet. Okay. Okay. It's already on my wish list though. Okay. Well, we've checked this out, but a headache and I'm sweating. Fighting this motion sickness a little bit. But considering like reasonable time to stop without making it a little too much. But we managed to finish one game and check out another. So I think we did good. Will allow it, I'm glad. Yeah, just laying down is gonna make me feel better. Alright. But concluding, I like the looks of it. And it's a survival game, which I always like. What I don't like is it being first person, because I just can't handle that. Hey Ross.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Good to see you too. I'm fine. We were checking out the demo for Aloft, but it's in first person and it's working on me. Alright, I'm gonna have to click this. I just saw something interesting. It's a survival game. You are like on a little island in the sky. It kind of looks like Earth has exploded and there are tiny little parts everywhere. And you need to like glide from island to island and gather resources and stuff.
I, Spartan Law, we will stand and fight and die.
That was suddenly very loud. Hey Kroon, thank you so much for the resub. Don't worry. How are you doing? Did I accidentally make this louder? I don't feel like the other one was as loud. Yeah, it's a first person game, so it's always a pretty big gamble. But that was also like part of me like wondering if I should or not. So we played the demo to see. I'm still on the fence about it. Hasn't completely like made up my mind. Yeah. Yeah, you did. How did your matches go? Boo. What a horrible time to come home from work. But thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Oh. I won 13-0, 13-1. That 1 point was my teammate's fault. I swear. And in total we won 8-0, but all our teams were behind 2-7 at first and took ages to come back and win. Ooh. Well, at least they won. And it would have been a exciting match to watch, right? Like nerve-wracking. You just pushed right through. You're like, we're no time to waste. Let me show you what I can do. I've got an IBO stream to catch. Hurry up. Yeah, exactly. After the first match, I asked the first team why they went easy on me. They walked away insulted, and I don't get why. Ah, me neither. That feels like a pretty normal question to ask, right? If anything, they should feel good about themselves because that means that you thought that they were better than they were. Okay. Right, we are gonna go and raid, so I would appreciate it if you guys would...
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
I can type. Would copy and paste the raid message. Make sure that you don't have the space in front of the /me, because otherwise the cursive doesn't work. And if you are not a sub, then feel free to change the emote. Thank you for making me drink, Robin. For everyone that is in chat but not yet in Discord, feel free to join so you don't miss out on any of the fun, meaning every Wednesday's movie night. I have yet to pick next week's movie. I'll get back to you on that one. My special thanks of the day go to Itchy, Diver, and Kroon for resubbing, and Just a Friend for the hoist. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, me too. Like, there's no alarm clock tomorrow, so I should be okay. Right. We are gonna go and say hi to Thea again because she is still doing the fundraiser for her US trip. And she is so close to getting to her goal. So we're just going there to show support. Thank you for making me drink, Kroon. Thea is very sweet and an incredibly talented banjo player, so we're just gonna end the night with some good tunes. Alright, thank you guys so much. Hopefully I will see you all tomorrow, where we are gonna play a new game. We have actually played the demo of this game, so... and now I've got the real game. So we're just going back into familiar habits, so to speak. Right, thank you guys. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. If not, then I hope you have an amazing rest of start of your weekend. And I am sure that we're gonna talk, so bye.
Is this the final scene in our tragic play? Only curtains remain to fall. There's no reason left to stay in this place. We move backwards against the wall. Conversations over, communications dead. The monologue is taken over. I'm still broken. I took you in with arms wide open. My color fades to gray. There's nothing left to say. Now it's all dead.
As we would say in Sweden, and she also does some really cool movie nights in her Discord channel, so you can check her out, please. Hello, Dennis. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. How are you? How was your stream, dear? We're also about to finish soon. We're just gonna play one more song and then we're off. And I would like to tell you also, guys, that yeah, she does cute little paintings on tiny canvases. What I want to say, yeah, guys, we keep on trucking and we're doing very well with the fundraiser. We have like we're $50 off to gathering all the funds for inland tickets in the inside the US, and then we're covered with flight tickets, and then later on everything else will be used for entrances to museums, festivals, and shows, stuff like that, and Dollywood. So there we go. Stream was good. I finished. Woo, Dennis! Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you.
Zoo, un poger, zoo, un poger, zoo, un poger.
Poger. The bot is reading the name of an emote. So poger, poger, poger. For Pogger. Stream was good. I finished a visual novel and played the demo for Aloft. Aloft. Awesome. What's a visual novel? Alright, talk to you soon. Union Pacific, please. Good luck at your gig. Alright, you'll do well. And thank you for the follow. Very Pogger. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Hot Rod. Hot Rod, thank you so much. You're my cousin now in Hillbilly. Thanks, adios, amigo. Guys, I'm gonna play for you Amarillo by Morning, and since I'm planning, you see Union Pacific that just left, me and him, we're planning a show together in Austin, Texas. So we're having a song list with like a lot of Texas tunes. So I'm just, before I leave, I'm gonna play you Amarillo by Morning. Amarillo is a town in Texas. And I'm gonna play you My Rifle, My Pony, and Me from a movie, Rio Bravo, which is a movie starring Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson. So, from Amarillo to San Antone, let's hear it first. Should we try it in a key of B flat? Maybe in this key. Yellow Rose of Texas. I don't know that one. Sue, if you're in my Discord, can you link it to me? Or maybe I'll type it here. Yellow Rose of Texas. Okay. This one is for Sue. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I got is just what I've got on. When the sun is high in the Texas sky, I'll be bucking at the county fair.